Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke, and this is the Everton Stadium update for the 13th of July 2024. Now, I'll be honest with you, at the very beginning I was not even sure whether we were going to be able to get this up in the air today, just for the fact that the weather has been so on and off. It has just been bloody terrible. To be honest, this entire week's been wet and miserable, hasn't it? But thankfully, we got up, got everything sorted out, and I've got a little chat with a few people as well while I was doing this. So I'll be talking about that when we get around to the North Stand and everything. But yeah, let's have a quick talk about the East Stand. So not too much in terms of updates around the actual East Stand itself. So the stadium side itself, pretty much everything looks near enough done and dusted. The only thing left is the black facade, and that's meant to be going on the right side there. That's just passing the screen. And a little bit of work that's got to go on with the front entrance as well as stuff around the bottom. So looking at the bottom there, they're all turnstiles. I can tell that just by looking at them. The way they're spaced out and the way they're actually divided, it's blatantly obvious that they're turnstiles. So we're going to probably get them having work done on in the near future. The main thing to talk about really around this side of it is more the fan plaza. So pretty much, very quickly, you can see it from here. Pretty much the first phase of the fan plaza is pretty much done and dusted from the looks of things. The only thing that's left on there to be done is probably a little bit more planting as well as getting the lights going. So those lights, I want them to get them turned on already. I want to see these lights on. I want to be able to actually get the drone up of a night, and even if it's just getting a couple of photos around the fan plaza, getting them lights going and everything. I'm hoping that they get them up soon anyway. But yeah, so the first phase is pretty much all done and dusted there. They've put some protective layering over the railway tracks from looks things around the middle. I'm assuming that's more down to the fact that the heavy goods vehicles are still moving in and out of there quite freely. So they want to make sure that they don't get damaged in any way, shape or form, because they are considered listed items. But yeah, in regards to the second phase and everything, so the second phase is in full swing over there. So one thing to mention as well, so on the fan plaza itself, you will actually see that some of these paving stones, they will look a little bit segmented. The way they're shaped, they are like sort of crisscrossy and everything. I can assure you though, they are actually straight rectangular paving slabs that are in there. And there is also a set of them. They've got like a bit of, I believe it's meant to just be blue glass that's actually mixed into the stone itself. So if you actually look at Nick's channel, as well as the Everton channel, there are videos of those slabs where they've actually got the blue glass mixed in with the stone itself. They do look really nice. Apparently they look surreal in person. They just don't look like they should be there, but in a good way, if you get what I mean. It's kind of like if you've ever seen Venta Black painted on an object. It's something that looks very surreal and tricks the mind a little bit. But yeah, so while we're over the south stand at the moment, on the outside they are actually digging a trench in the southwest corner. It does actually appear to be like a foundation for trees, kind of like in the fan plaza and everything. But I could be mistaken. I have been mistaken quite a bit in the past when it comes to this sort of stuff. Plus, on top of that, they're also working on the ceiling on the underside of the outside of the south stand. So that's something out of the drone's view. Again, if I really wanted to say screw the rules, I could potentially fly under there when no one's in sight. But I don't want to do this because I want to respect the rules on the site. And when I do actually go and do my inside tour, I want to actually get some photos of that so they go on the channel itself. But yeah, overall, South Stand is coming along really nicely. They are due to actually be putting the solar panels in at some point in the near future. I don't know exactly when, but I'm hoping sooner rather than later, because they would actually be a nice piece to see getting developed and put over the actual roof itself. But yeah, going over onto the West Stand, work has actually continued on the bow cladding. There's actually a couple more columns that have actually been put up on each side of the West Stand. The stairway as well is coming along really nicely. Sorry, I've just actually hit the microphone there. So there is actually a little bit of work. It's interesting to see, because we actually got this just after the rain that stopped, you can actually distinguish little bits of the stairway itself, so you can actually see the little divider pieces as well. So where the actual stairway is, where you're meant to really step up, it's kind of like what you see in Liverpool 1. If anyone's ever been around the back of Liverpool 1 by where John Lewis is, they normally have it like sort of paved with AstroTurf and everything. You've got that sort of layout there, so you can actually see the proper stairway, and then you've got like the sort of giant stairway, if you get where I'm coming from. Sort of like an area where people usually sit and whatnot. So yeah, you can actually see them, you can actually distinguish them versus last week when you couldn't really see them because everything was dry and it was all colour matching. But yeah, overall, the West Stand is moving along at a decentish pace. A lot of the work right now is more in the Courtyard area as well as the car park, so we'll discuss that when we come to it. One thing that does actually stand out to me right now, so we can actually see where the bow cladding ends here between the two pieces, where your little centrepiece is. I can actually see there's like wooden pieces either side of the window. So I'm assuming these are where the entranceways are at the top where the mezzanine is. So from what I can see, I can't really see it here. But I'm assuming at some point in the future there is going to be like a railing system there. I'm assuming that would actually be kind of like a... is it a veranda? Not like a veranda. I'm going to say veranda. It's kind of like a little outside area where like your hospitality and everything, they can stand outside and they can sort of enjoy the views over the Mersey and everything. I'm assuming that's what that is. I could, again, more than likely be wrong, but I'm making a safe guess on that one, just based on the size and shape of the wood itself. It looks like glass doorways and whatnot. But yeah. Also, someone actually did mention on Twitter, so I'm going to clear this one up very quickly. Someone was asking what the lighting is going to be like outside of the stadium when they're playing at night. So what's going to happen? The roof itself is completely opaque. You won't be able to get any light bleeding out from up there. But the bow cladding itself will actually bleed a bit of light through. So it will actually have like almost like a halo-esque effect where it will actually glow through. So that is one that's going to look absolutely spot on and amazing. But yeah, going over the Courtyard right now. So one thing of really quick note, Everton has actually released a video in about 3 days ago when this video gets released, and you actually see them working on the west wall, sort of where the water's going to be, the waterway or the water channel, should I say. So you can actually see the blasting cement onto the wall itself and getting that wall protected a little bit more. So they're actually putting that in to protect the foundation of the, not only the grounds, like the stadium itself, from any future water erosion and whatnot. So it was actually nice to see that. It is very weird to sort of see everything from a ground view. Seeing everything from the drone and everything, I've become quite used to this sort of perspective of everything. So when I go on other videos where you can actually see it from the ground and you can see the sheer size and scale, things do sort of, it perplexes the mind a little bit. Because one thing to note as well about this stadium, it does sit, I think it's about 47 meters high from its base to the very ceiling itself. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that's eerily close to Wembley's height. Wembley itself, I think, sits around 49 to 50 meters high, maybe even 52. So where your top row of the seats are, that could be comparable to like being in the top row of Wembley. I know that sounds egotistical for us to say, but that's something I've just been thinking about whilst doing these videos. And I've probably mentioned this in the past, but bear in mind, there's probably close to 200 videos on this channel. And information will get reused time and time again, just for the fact that I will forget that I've probably said something on this channel. But yeah, going over the North Stand at the moment, there's not too much in terms of updates. It's mostly ground work, you know, like internal work as well as painting inside of the stadium and everything. So I'm going to use this time to sort of have a little quick chat. So I did actually meet SS Skies when he was actually had his drone up. He had his drone up around the same time as me. So I had a nice little chat with him. So it was good to meet you, bud. Also, after I did all my drone work, I was walking down, I went into Collingwood Dock, and I was speaking to the guys in there, and they're currently advertising a nice little piece as well. So they've actually got like a little walk, so they have like a little walkway, the Docklands Trail Walk, they call it. So it pretty much is a walk from around just before Man Island, so they've got like, they start around the Naval Memorial, and they go all the way up to right by the stadium, so you're passing things like the British and American Unity Stone, you're passing the Titanic Memorial, you're passing like Clarence Dock, Trafalgar Dock, all those little things, the pathway and everything. It looks like a great little walk. I'd probably say that's a good half an hour to an hour's walk, and if you take one of the pamphlets from them, they actually have all information as well about certain land points and landmarks and whatnot. So that's definitely one, if you ever get the chance to go and do it, it looks like a really good walk. And as I said, it ends at Collingwood Dock and you get to see the stadium as well. When you go in there, you do actually get a really good view of the South Stand, so it's definitely one to look at. Right, so talking about the inner bowl on the pitch now. Everton have announced that there are now over 50,000 seats installed inside of the stadium at this point, with the VIP, directors and media areas getting really nice, well-made plush leather seats with Wi-Fi terminals installed at set distances. Really nice of them, isn't it? While the rest of us peasants get to sit in the normal plastic chairs, which, in all fairness, if you actually check the Everton videos, these look like they're a lot more robust and comfier seats than what we've got currently at Goodison Park. I wonder if this is why the lower ladder stands up for every game. Not because we want to promote safe stands and we want to support the team by standing up and whatnot. It's just the seats are uncomfortable. I am kidding, by the way. I am joking, by the way. I know a lot of people can take a lot of the stuff I say out of context. So when I'm saying some stuff, it is normally just a little joke. I'm not trying to be wholly serious when I'm saying certain things. But yeah. The pitch itself is actually continuing to develop really nicely as well. The majority of the machinery has actually been removed from the pitch, which would be a good indicator to say that the seeding is probably going to take place fairly soon. Now, I was thinking whether they're going to use the lighting system. So, if you look at some stadiums, Anfield do quite a lot as well. They actually have a machine that actually rolls across the stadium to try and help promote the growth of the grass. Whether we do that or we use a natural system, I'm not too sure. I would assume that would be when everything's found and everything, but only time will tell. But in any case, we're coming to the end of the video now, so all I can say is thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, enjoy the Euros as well, that's one thing to note. Take care, and up the fucking toffees.